two.
Hi, I am playing in a two-man queue on Magic Online Legacy with the blue-white StoneBlade deck. Um, Replays are kind of wonky these days on Magic Online. I should have recorded it live, but I didn't. So I only have two games out of the three from the match. Not exactly sure. I think I'm just missing the first game, which is the one I lost. I'm playing against Imperial Painter, and just got combat out without enough in the way of removal. All right, let's see. But we'll see what we get. All right, this is a clear. Well, I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Mental misstep. Force are the only live cards. I really don't have a way to cast anything in my hand other than the free spells. So I assume, hopefully, yeah, mulligan here. This is a very good hand. Um, depending on what my opponent does, I can misstep turn one play, force a will turn two play, and go get and play Stoneforge. I think this is actually my game one, but we'll see. All right, grindstone. Obviously, I misstep it. Let's see. Play a Misty Rainforest. Drew a Stoneforge Mystic. He goes turn two City of Traders into Blood Moon. So I really didn't want to pitch my Force of Will when I know he's playing a combo deck to a Blood Moon, but I just, with the hands that I have in my hand, it completely blanks it if I just don't Force of Will it. If I don't Force of Will, then the alternative is just crack Misty Rainforest, get an island, play Ancestral Vision next on my turn, but Stoneforges are dead in my hand. Um, so I just bite the bullet and drew an island. So maybe in hindsight I should have done it. Who knows? But here I just gas a Stoneforge and go get a Batter Skull. I feel pretty dead at this point, so Lightning Bolt on the Stoneforge, Painter Servant, play second Stoneforge, go get the other equipment, which is terrible because I can't really equip it. As soon as it equips, it unequips because Stoneforge gains protection from the sword. But anyway, and here's a Grindstone and second Painter Servant. So I'm pretty dead. So I scoop it up. Alright, let's see what other game I get to replay for you guys. Hang on there. Real quick sideboarding for how this went. I ended up taking out the Stoneforge Mystics and the equipment. First of all, they're just not going to do the job against the combo deck. Obvious inclusions: Meddling Mage, Phyrexian Revoker, Pithing Needle. So that's the first stuff that goes in. One slot left. I wanted the Aura of Silence. Boarded in one game. Actually boarded back out the second game just because with the Blood Moon he was playing, the double white is actually a problem. Ended up adding one Lawan. And it's a corner case, but sometimes they get the painter down and you need an out, and Lawan is an out because if they normally name blue and the painter would be a blue creature, so when you're playing it, the Lawan, it bounces it. It could potentially save you from a kill the next turn. Again, very corner casey, but it's better than the cards I'm taking out. The game again. I apologize. I'm not sure if this is game 2 or 3 that we're gonna watch. All right. Oh, this is the interesting game. Oh, good. Easy keeper here. I've got one form of disruption here. Brainstorm with the fetch land, so I can get rid of some of these land if they're extra ancestral visions. All good stuff. Oh, this is game 3. I won game 2. Just locked him out with the Disruption and jaced him. Alright, played a Mountain, and awkwardly, like one of the best cards if I don't have the misstep, Sensei's Divining Top, which is going to let him filter through the top of his deck. I drew a Jace to Mind Sculpture. Played the Flooded Strand. Reasoning being, if he goes Blood Moon next turn, I can go get my planes, which lets swords be good. I just that was my plan at the time. He goes Ancient Tomb and plays Painter Servant. Here I get to a little bit of a important decision. I have swords and Spellsnare in hand, and Flooded Strand in play. My problem being that I really don't want to go get another Tundra. I would much rather get a basic land because he's running the Blood Moons. But if I'm saving the Flooded Strand for a Plains, then I have to let the Painter resolve. However, if he has a Mental Misstep, which he's shown me that he has in the deck in the previous games, then if he just counters my Swords to Plowshare, I'm kind of stuck with this Painter Servant in play, which is not where I want to be. So I decide that bite the bullet, crack my Flooded Strand to go get a Tundra, so I can Spell Snare it, so that if he does have a misstep and he uses it up in the Spell Snare, I can still Swords it on my turn and not die to the combo right away. So that's what I do. I didn't want to do that. Like the fetch land was very valuable to me. Could give me, gave me a way to shuffle for Brainstorm. And gave me a way to get to a Plains, which again matters. So here I Spell Snare, and my opponent has an answer in Red Elemental Blast, which is a card kind of considered, but it wouldn't have taken care of the Swords to Plowshares. And anyway, but Red Elemental Blast is going to be live against me throughout the game just because I am playing blue. So Painter resolves, and I drew a Mental Misstep, which is good. A lot of his deck interacts with Mental Misstep, the Grindstones, if he somehow returns Sensei's Divining Top, the Red Elemental Blasts. So first things first, play the Swords to Plowshares, get rid of that guy, and play the Tundra. And I go ahead and suspend Ancestral Vision, since I have a Mental Misstep in hand. I just want to get it out there. If he locks me under a Blood Moon, at least drawing these 3 cards in a few turns could dig me into basic land. And he goes tops and passes the turn, which is great for me because I get a turn with cards I can cast, and I get another Visions, and I Brainstorm. Alright, so here I got what I was looking for, which is a Scalding Tarn. Again, it was I wanted to Brainstorm main phase to get a fetch land so I could get rid of some of the cards that were a little extra in my hand. Now here I chose, the Mishra's Factory is just not very good in this matchup. Basically he's going to get Blood Mooned, can block a Painter, I guess, if he ever swings, but it's not going to happen if I have a Factory. You can't really swing into a Painter, I guess, unless I have 2, but I'm just not really counting on basic land long game in this matchup. So I want to put that away, and I actually wanted, that puts me in a tough position. I definitely want to shuffle because I want to go get a basic land, and I feel like I need to suspend another Vision, so I end up pitching one of these Jaces, since hopefully I will only need one, and I didn't draw for it so well, which may be a reason to keep another just so I can pitch it. So I put Mishra's Factory, and then Jace back on top, play the Scalding Tarn, suspend my Visions, and I planned to crack the Tarn, but I didn't want to give him that information, so plays Ancient Tomb, and bam, there comes the Blood Moon. So in response, I crack the Tarn, go get a basic island, and that lets me have a little bit of operating mana. Certainly if I draw another blue source, I can play my Jace, and he tops again, and I believe I can get to my turn, get my Ancestrals to tick, draw a Meddling Mage, which is one of the best cards I can draw against him, because he needs to throw a Elemental Blast at it. But, no white, again, which is going back to that first turn, that first fetch land, not being able to get that plains off of it is hurting me a little bit here. But he doesn't do anything and just passes the turn. My visions are ticking. Draw a second Jace, but no second blue. He tops. And here comes a grindstone, and I snap mental misstep it. No, nothing to think about. Oh, and he's got the second misstep back on me, so grindstone resolves, which means I need to keep him. If he draws a Painter Servant, which there should be 3 of in his deck at this point, I'm just dead. So the vision ticks, and one of them resolves. I'm really hoping that he doesn't Red Elemental Blast it, but thankfully he doesn't have it, and I draw really well. A Force of Will and Mental Misstep means that I have a pretty good chance of not dying to the combo if he were to draw it, because I can counter some of it. I also draw a Repeal and a fetch land. Alright, so play my fetch land and pass the turn. And, you know, while I'm passing and going to his turn, I'm thinking, what am I going to repeal? The options being, do I save it in case he does resolve a Painter, so I can bounce the Grindstone in response, just give me or even bounce the Painter. But I decided, you know, wait, see what he does. He plays an Imperial Recruiter, which I consider Force of Willing, but it's one of those classic questions: you counter the tutor or the card you get with the tutor, and I just all I could think he could possibly be getting was a Painter. I couldn't think of any other creature he might be running that I would be concerned about. So if all he's getting is a Painter, I'd rather just counter the Painter. So I let the Recruiter resolve, and sure enough, he searches and goes get a Painter. So I know he has a Painter in his hand. So get to the end of his turn, and I go ahead and tank a little bit, and decide to repeal his Blood Moon. A couple reasons. Alright, first of all, he tries to Pyroblast the repeal. And you know, why I wanted to cast the repeal on the Blood Moon is that would let me resolve Meddling Mage, which would give me additional protection from the Painter and give me a way to win the game, or alternatively play my Jace. But also I can crack the Tarn for an island, so I can play my Jace even on a future turn. So just a bunch of reasons that I wanted. The Blood Moon was just going to allow me to do things next turn that otherwise I might not have. Also, I have a Visions that's going to resolve, so I'm going to have about 8 cards in my hand, and I needed operating mana to do something with them. I'm running a lot of good cards for this matchup, but just need to be able to play them, and hopefully if I draw them and I am not under the Blood Moon, I can play them out and try to stay in the game. So he Pyroblasts, so I just misstep it, and I would have been willing to fight his misstep if he had it, but doesn't. So repeal resolves, and I draw Swords to Plowshares, which would be great if I had a Plains. I don't crack the turn immediately because I have there's lines of play where I could see myself just playing the Jace and brainstorming. So I wanted to have that option.